Hi there, in this video I'm going to show you how to set up a Facebook page. So it's actually very simple, and I'm going to walk you through here step by step on screen. And main thing is just follow the prompts. Facebook definitely can get a little bit confusing, and I definitely can understand how you can get a little lost. But I think if you can follow along here, I think it'll make it a little bit easier for you. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So whenever you log in, go to the Home tab. It should look exactly like this. I mean, Facebook goes through updates every now and then, so if you're not seeing exactly what you're here, then just try to find something that kind of looks like a home button. The other thing that I would recommend doing is making sure you do this on a computer. You can create pages through the Facebook app, but in my opinion, it's just a lot easier whenever you go through on an actual computer. It's a little bit easier. You're going to type things out, and it just tends to be a little bit easier. So I'm going to I need to create a page for my company right now. So I'm actually going to do this live, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. Okay, so once you come to this Home tab, the next thing that you're going to want to do here is go over to the Pages button. So you're going to go and click on that. And it's going to show me all the pages that I currently have, which I actually have a lot of them. We have we have access to a lot of our clients' pages and so forth. But what you're going to want to do is on the left side, go over here to Create New Page. And now we're going to start filling out some information. So the particular company that I'm going to be filling this out for is called Loveland Solar Energy Company. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick a category. So you could pick something like, if you're setting this up for a ministry or you're setting this up for an organization of some sort, just start typing something in here, and it should find something. So if you're doing like a church, for example, you might be able to type in church, and this church will come up right here. You might be able to do ministry, and we'll see what comes up there. It doesn't look like anything actually comes up for specific ministry, but you just get creative here. You can type in Christian, see what comes up, Christian. Again, there's church here, Christian church. You can really select this, in whatever way you want. If it's like an online ministry of some sort, then you're gonna have to get creative with whatever that is. I can't really distinctly help you with that right now, but just get creative. It could be online ministry. We could try online ministry. I don't think that's gonna pop up, but there are different types of things. You can do nonprofit. That's also something that can tend to be something that would be good. But for this particular case, I'm going to do Solar Energy Company because that is what this company is. Okay, so next is we're going to type in a description. Now, I have not typed in a description for this yet, and typically this needs to be a short description. So if you actually look down here, the character limit for Facebook is 255 characters right here on this. Okay, so that means it's going to be pretty short. So I'm going to say we provide solar energy solutions for homeowners and businesses in the greater Loveland, Colorado area. Okay, so something very basic, short. This is kind of like your elevator pitch. Okay, so something very short that summarizes exactly what you do. Okay, from here, this is actually all Facebook is going to want to actually create the page, and then from here we can start pulling together more bits of information and data that's going to go into the actual page. So this is loading. We'll wait for this to get done. Okay, so now it's gone ahead and created the page. So I could stop right now if I had to go get do something else or whatever. I could come back to this. It has now saved my information, and I'm all pretty much good to go as far as the page goes. But I don't want to stop here. I want to keep adding information, and I want to keep adding stuff in here to make sure I really build this page out to make it look good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this video because I'm going to go ahead and go find a couple of images and a cover photo that are going to work for me. You know what? Let me go ahead and I'm going to show you how I do this. So as far as a profile photo goes, typically you want to have something that has your logo in it. Now, typically you're not going to want to actually get a full-blown logo. Now, what do I mean by that? You're usually going to want to shorten the logo or make an icon of some sort. And what I would recommend doing is there's a website called canva.com. I'm going to bring my my bar down in here so you can see exactly. It's canva.com. This is actually where we're going to create the images that we need. Okay, so what I mean by the icon, so we have a company that we do business with let me just give you an example here. So Krieger Glass. This is a, see how I have an icon right here, this K? Well, their logo, if we go look at their actual logo here, this is their logo. So if I tried to put that logo inside of a round profile photo that's going to go right here, it would look really bad. So what I do here is I need to create an image that's going to fit inside of that. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do that here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a square image. So what happens on Facebook is they are going to end up cropping into a circle, which means we want to have a square image with the icon inside of it so that we might be able to have that cropped appropriately. So what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to do 1,000. I'm creating a design, 1,000 by 1,000 pixels, and this is going to give me a perfectly square image. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this video because I need to go find my color scheme for this website. Okay, so I went ahead and grabbed the colors that I need, and let me, you're going to maybe get confused here from what I'm actually building, but I have pulled up a website here that is actually following the same color scheme as this company that I'm setting up. So I'm going to be following the color scheme that I see here, which is going to be an orange and kind of a navy blue color. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to change the background color, and I've already copied the color to my color wheel or my clipboard. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to hit new color and I'm going to hit paste. If you have a really any kind of a thing built right now, like your brand guide, which you hopefully have by now, but if you have your brand guide, you'll want to be copying and pasting color hex codes directly off of that so you can get the exact color scheme that you need. Okay, so next I'm going to add text, and I'm just going to probably add a letter here. So we've got Loveland Solar. So I'm just going to do an L, and then I might do, you know what, really quick, let's just go to here just for, just to show you. So if I go to elements here, I'm going to look up solar. I'm just going to see what pops up here. Maybe there's an icon that we can use, and it looks like, this will be a good one. I actually really like this. This looks like this is a solar company. I think that this could actually fit pretty well. I do want to change this, the color of this, into the orange that I need that will support this particular brand. So I'm going to go there. I'm copying the color, by the way. I have a plugin in my Chrome browser that allows for me to find the color on a website. If you want to know what that is, just let me know. I think it's called, let's see here. Goodness, I'm not even sure what it's called. I'm trying to find this for you. ColorZilla. That's a little plugin, by the way. It's really helpful. You can go find any color hex codes you want on a website. But anyway, I have that copied to my clipboard. I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to change that over to that. And I'm going to go up here, position. I'm going to make sure it's in the middle and centered, which it is. And just in case Facebook ends up cutting this down a little too much, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller just so that doesn't happen. And I'm going to name this Loveland Solar icon. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and download this. And by the way, I don't put your logo in the actual profile image. I just think that's going to look really bad. So you really want to try to find some kind of an icon that will support what you're trying to do, or go with just a letter like we did with that Krieger Glass company. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back over to the profile picture. Now we're going to add the profile picture in here. I've got that in my downloads folder. I'm going to pull this open, and now I've got this loaded up in there. And now that I can see it, it's actually pretty small. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to enlarge this a little bit, because it almost just looks like a star at that point, being so small in there. So I'm going to re-download this, and let's try this again. I'm going to re-upload the new file, and let's see if we can't get that a little bit bigger. I want to take up almost the whole thing. Okay, that's good enough. It still kind of looks, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of it. If I were like really doing this for real, I'd probably, maybe find a different icon, because that's almost looking, I don't know, it's almost looking a little weird, a little wonky to me, which this one, that's going to look too cartoonish. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I think that there are probably other solutions here that might work better than what I've currently got, but I'm not going to get too broken up about it. So anyway, that's how you'd upload that. And then now we need a cover photo. So what I like to do with cover photos is either I like to create them in Canva, Or for this particular one, I'm just going to use a stock photo. So I'm going to go to Pexels. It's pexels.com, P-E-X-E-L-S.com. These are free stock photos. So this is a really cool solution for imagery. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type in solar, and I'm going to see what pops up, which there's plenty of these that I'm going to be able to use. So I'm going to do like solar contractor, see if anything pops up with that. I want to get someone actually working on the roof for this particular company. Nothing came up there. Solar company, let's try that. I'm not really seeing anything on there, so let's go back to solar house, and let's see what pops up on that. We're still not really getting anything, so let's go to solar. And we likely, you know what, this one looks pretty good because it actually looks very Colorado-esque. It's got the evergreens in the background. It's almost got like some little hills here, which they don't even have a lot of grass on them, which usually happens in fairly higher elevation areas. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one. I think this one could be a good one. Okay, so what I need to do before I do that is, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I was going to resize it, but I forget that Facebook can actually handle pretty much any image size possible. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this. So again, we're just doing the images. We're just doing the solar stuff at the moment, or we're just doing the cover photo at the moment. And we're walking through this. So we've done the page information. We've already created the page. We've done the description, and now we're going to hit save, and it's going to take us to the next step, which is now going to be filling out a lot more information. And this one I'm not going to spend the time to really build out for you on video, but I'm just going to show you where they are. So the page is now live, but there's a lot more information that we really need to fill in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to this Edit Page Info button. Okay, so you want to come down to Edit Page Info, and this is where you're really going to fill out a lot more of the information associated with your particular brand. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do username, so I'm going to do Loveland Solar. Hopefully that's not taken. That actually also looks like Love and Solar, which is funny, but anyway, the contact information, I don't even have any of this information for this yet, so I'm not going to put this in. But what you need to do, this is actually very important, you need to put in the phone number for your ministry or for your company, for your organization. You need to put in the email, and you need to put in the website. I don't have any of this information right now, otherwise I would do that. An address will definitely help you appear more legitimate. If this is your home address or something like that, I wouldn't put that. But if you do have an address where you can receive mail, and it's not your home address, then I would definitely try to put that up there. I'd encourage you to do that. That'll help legitimize you and give you some credibility. The service area. So I'm going to go ahead and type this one in. I can do that right now. Loveland, Colorado. So your service area, if you're an online ministry, don't worry about filling that out because you're going to be national. Which you could technically do United States, I believe. No, they actually got rid of that option. So yeah, if you're a national based organization, don't worry about the service area. That's not going to make sense for you. Okay, hours. I am going to open on selected hours. So this is just a process of filling out literally everything. So I'm going to do 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and that's a pretty standard time. So I'm just going to type this in because that's a little bit faster, 5 p.m. And then I'm just going to keep typing this in, 8 a.m., 5 p.m., 8 a.m., 5 p.m., and one more time. And then I'm going to have this closed. I'm not sure if I can put that here. I guess we can just leave that off because I think that will say that it's going to be closed, okay? Now, the privacy policy, this is where you're really going to start filling in a lot of your information. So if you have a website already, which I hope you do, but if you have a website already, then you're going to go ahead and type in where your privacy policy is. Typically, it's going to be your url.com/privacy-policy. Now, if you don't have that or you don't know what I'm talking about, then it is likely that you'll need to create a privacy policy, which little tidbit here, there is an online system where you can actually, I'm going to show you my tools here, where you can actually go and get a free privacy policy. So let me see if I can find this down here. I've got a lot of different tools. Get privacy policy, okay? So it's getterms.io, and you can do a basic privacy policy right here where you can go select for free. It's going to ask for you some information. You do actually need to have this accurate. It needs to be the company email or the organizational email and so forth, because what it's going to do, and you need to fill out all these out, and I'm not going to go through this and show you, but basically this is all for this to bake in a privacy policy for you, and it's going to output a full-blown privacy policy that you can copy and paste onto your website. Now, why do you need a privacy policy? Well, it's actually very important to make sure that you stay legal, and you don't have anyone who, like, let's say your website were to get hacked someday and someone comes after and sues you. You don't want that to happen. A privacy policy can help protect you against that. There's a lot of other things that can happen online. Just want to make sure you have a privacy policy that's set up on your website. But wherever that ends up getting housed, you're going to pop that in here. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time going through this, but you can read this. So when you press in, it says this is an optional field. This is where this is actually required by law in some countries, but in the United States, we don't really fill this out a whole lot. I don't really fill it out a lot, but sometimes I do put in like a lengthier description, just like what this company's about and so forth. Products. This is where I might type in solar energy solutions. We do solar. You might type in various things that you do. Additional information, you just put really whatever you want here. This is another place where you can really go into detail about what your brand's about, what you're doing, and so forth. For most organizations and nonprofits, you just leave this unspecified. You certainly don't need to fill that out. Now, as you're going through here, Facebook is actually already going ahead and saving this for you every time you make a change. So you don't have to go in here and click save or anything. It's actually already ready to go. Okay, so now if I go back to my home, I should see some changes. So I've got up here Loveland Solar, that is the username, and I've got my cover photo. I should have some hours on here somewhere, if that's going to show it. Yeah, if you had filled out your website, your phone number, email, all of that would now be listed in here. And as you can tell here, you can also go in and edit the page info there. But as far as this goes, I mean, there's a lot that I've showed you already. This gets you up and going. As far as the page goes, you can add a button here. I mean, you can do lots of little stuff. The pages can get pretty complex. However, don't let that scare you. You don't need to have a complex page just to operate on Facebook. This is plenty where I would even go as far to say that I could start running ads for this company right now on Facebook. I don't need a ton more built out. It's just not necessary. But anyway, that's all I'm going to touch on this video. This is how you set up Facebook. And let me know if you have any questions. But if not, then good luck, and I wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors.